The issue of racism in football is not confined to black and Asian players alone. Anti-Semitic abuse amongst spectators is a problem the FA are aware of. But what is the reason behind this abuse and what is being done to combat it? Jewish scriptwriter and avid Chelsea fan Ivor Baddiel has been to football matches where anti-Semitic abuse has been chanted by fans. Here he describes some of the abuse and his reaction to it.
Over the years, there's been a lot of chanting, this Yiddo chanting, mainly in relation to Tottenham Hotspur. And it's something that we don't like, but we've tolerated for many years just because, you know, when a whole terrace of people are doing it, it just feels like there's nothing much you can do. But there was, about 2 or 3 years ago, there was an unpleasant anti-Semitic incident where one man stood up and was shouting very unpleasant anti-Semitic things, and I confronted him. So I contacted Kick It Out, an organisation whose aim is to kick racism out of football, and said to them, I want to make a short film. And then they've made similar short films in the past. And they said yes, basically.
There was a word beginning with N that some football fans used to shout at players like me. They don't do it anymore.
There was a word beginning with P that some football fans used to shout at players like me, but they don't do that anymore either.
But for some reason, a lot of fans still shout this word, and it begins with Y.
What they're chanting is a racist word for Jews, the Y word.
Kick It Out is the UK's football equality and inclusion campaign. It works throughout the football, educational and community sectors to challenge discrimination. The organisation is keen to get the message across to members of the public that anti-Semitic words and phrases, including that of Yid Army, which some Tottenham Hotspur fans think is a badge of honour because of the club's Jewish links, is actually a totally unacceptable form of anti-Semitic abuse.
We were aware that there was certainly some anti-Semitism within the game, so we designed, in conjunction with another number of partners, both the Y Word, which is a film looking at that, and then we also looked at some educational materials, to develop some educational materials for schools, looking at how you deal with anti-Semitism.
Our aim was to get people to think about it, and at the end of the film is saying to people, think again. We wanted to start a debate, a discussion about the whole use of the Y word in football. And ultimately, I think, you know, well, I know that's what we've done, because when it came out, there was a lot of response, there was a lot of media response.
The film, The Y Word, works together with the educational resource Think Again to challenge anti-Semitic abuse in football.
The pack is quite extensive. It's got a range of classroom activities based on football in this country and also Europe as well. There's references to the Euros in 2012, which was in Poland and Ukraine. And there's basically a host of things that teachers can use in conjunction with showing the film to get them schooled about the use of the word anti-Semitism in football, and I think discrimination more widely. There's lots of references in there to football, footballers as role models, and we use that concept, if you like, to try and weave in some key social messages to kids about the work that we do here, and this is a really important way of doing it.
I mean, what we've been told by teachers is that there still is quite significant anti-Semitism directed at Jewish school kids, and what we're trying to do is how can we work, how can we support that, what can we do with communities, how can we get that message through that in 2012 there shouldn't be any anti-Semitism at all, but what can we do as a campaign to raise a profile, to make sure that it's not lost, to make sure that people know this is just, it's not acceptable.
Whilst accepting there is a big challenge ahead, Ivor Baddiel and the leaders of the Kick It Out campaign are confident that the educational pack will help to make a positive change.
I don't think this generation of Tottenham fans and fans generally are going to change. I'm sure some of them will think about it, but you know, we were under no illusions when we made the film. Things don't change overnight. People aren't going to watch the film and go, "All right, we shouldn't do this anymore." It doesn't work like that. It's a process. And so the film came out and the educational packages have come out now, and that's the next stage in the process.
The Think Again educational pack is now available for download at kickitout.org.
Think again.
Think again.
Think again.
And so the organisations behind this educational resource are hopeful that future generations will think again. This is Celestina Olulode for JN1 in London.